Welcome to Family Gaming. I hope everybody is having a good day and or night. So here we are in Avowed, and I thought it would be a good idea to show guys a different way of making a mage build. So here in the beginning, when you get to pick your stats, I recommend putting in some stats into Constitution because it doesn't actually waste any of your stats. You can only go up to 3 in the beginning anyway. So instead of wasting actual perk points, we're going to put 2 points in a Constitution to give us some health and survivability early on in the game so you don't have to waste anything later on. So here we are in the first fight. Typical mage build, they don't really give you much of a shield in the beginning. You also can't really unlock anything. So I went with the regular mage, and you can see the damage is good, which is why everybody likes to play a mage build. You get to just sling your magic around, burn people, electrocute people, all that good stuff. And it is fun. Do not get me wrong when I say this, but sometimes it gets a little boring because you just kind of blow through everything, right? But also, these are more so glass cannon builds usually when people are talking about mage builds. So I'm just here to suggest a different way of playing a mage build, which we are going to focus on surviving as we're dealing out good damage as a mage. There's also multiple ways which we will get into in this video. We continue on in the game, main quest line. We run into some grave robbers and we show them the business. Now we still are just using magic, again, just to showcase that the damage is good. Don't be afraid to use a mage build, it'll work, it's fun. And I hope you do try it along with other builds. Moving on, here is the first real main boss of the story. Again, damage output, even being a low level, it's going to be good. You are going to have to be great at dodging. And for those of you that are not great at dodging, but are good with a shield, we'll get into the build after this fight here. We enter the town. It's beautiful, and we immediately get shot, and we die. That's the game. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. But really though, here in the town that you walk into, Paradise, there actually is a merchant right here. So for those of you that are just trying to do a regular mage build, she actually does have some good equipment. She has the armor here and the grimoire. They actually are pretty good because you get extra healing, and the corrosive siphon, you actually do get that bonus from the armor, which you can use actually during this build that I'm about to go over right now. But just to showcase this for an early mage build, I will change into the clothes here to show you how it looks, just in case you were wondering. Now, getting on to the different build that I have had a lot of fun with during this playthrough, we're going to get the minor missiles because you need to have unlock that first perk first before you can start getting other ones. And here we are, we're going to get parry. It doesn't sound great when it comes to a mage build. We're also going to get some health. Again, doesn't typically sound like a mage build, but bear with me for a second. You can also choose any magic that you want here. I'm going to go with Corrosive Siphon because it's going to help with this tankish build that you're going to see. So we put 2 points into the missiles, and we're going to grab this Corrosive Siphon because you get to deal damage while stealing their health at the same time. So we do have a nice shield, and we have just a basic wand that will upgrade. So here we're going to show you how easily you can stun in this game with the parry. Also, because we got extra points in the health, we don't die as often. But you can tell the parry, look at the big stun, and then here is big stun damage. You get your criticals off. Parrying actually is not as difficult in this game as it is other games that typically are Souls-like Sekiro, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Elden Ring. The parrying in this one is not as timely as those. You still need to have a little bit of skill, but not as much. Which is why I think this build is perfect for a ton of people. So we got this big old guy here. He's going to swing his big old hammer. Big things go boom. But in this game, you can actually parry every enemy, no matter how big they are. So and look at that stun bar. It fills up quickly. Also, you saw how much healing I got from the siphon. So this is a mage tank build hybrid. So here we're gonna stun. You take some damage along the way. That's what the extra points are for. But there goes a parry. You can see the stun bar, which is the yellow bar, builds up quickly. We were almost there already. We only parried him 4 times. There's a 5th and he's done. We're going to hit him with a good crit. And we're going to suck some health out of him. Look at the health bar go up. And you can pretty much do this throughout the entire playthrough. Switch your shields around, your wands. And you can play around with the magic as well. Like I said, I'm going with Corrosive right now to show you that you can steal health, stay alive. It'll help a lot with your survivability if you're having problems living in this game, which I did at first, but once you get used to it, it wasn't so bad. Again, look at his parry bar, and we're done. Let's hit him again, and you can rinse and repeat. We found the assassin that shot us with that poison arrow. How rude of him. But we're actually going to let him live as we move on with the game. Now here at level 10, We have might at 4, constitution at 5, we have dexterity at 3, perception 3, intellect at 7, and 1 resolve. I probably wouldn't put too many points in a resolve. It's not that necessary. You can if you like it, but I wouldn't recommend it. You could also add a little points to might if you want a little extra damage. Now here are the perks. We're going to have 2 in toughness, again going along with that survivability. We're going to have 3 in parry already by level 10. So we're already at max efficiency. It's going to cause a ton of stun damage, and this is early on. This is level 10. We're not even halfway through the game yet. Our wand mastery is already at 2 to help with some damage, and our corrosive is at 2. So here is just another fight to go along with. This is at level 10, doing a bounty with the Trantons, which they actually are pretty tough. So you can watch and see how this build comes together, regardless of what you're fighting, how many you're fighting. It is decent in crowds as well. In any fight, this is just a general tip, in any fight, usually you have ones that are stronger, but you have people in the background that are kind of just chipping away at your health with their arrows or shooting wands or whatever. Take them out first. Just a general tip. They're usually weaker. Run around, take them out, and then focus on the big guys. That way you're not taking this chip damage. It gets rather annoying. But as you can see here, we're now onto the Trantons, and you can see that yellow bar again going up. You stun him, and he's almost done already. Here we are. Hit him with a big one, and he's out the way. Moving on to the next. Our missiles do a decent amount of damage. Our wand does decent, and we can steal that health back. Again, all this is survivability, which you don't typically get with the mage build, but you still get to have the fun of using that magic as you're going through your playthrough. Again, another big stun. She's about finished. We can get her out the way and focus on the big guy. And he is going to be no different. We're going to work on that yellow bar. It's almost up, and here we go. Hit him twice. And you can see once you start to get all these stuns in a row, then the red health bar will then start to just drain before you know it.
Nice work.
Okay, so here is where the variety kicks in with this build. So we're still doing our parry. Those stats that we had are going to be the same, but we switched it into, instead of corrosive siphon, we switched to just pump out some more damage. We got the fireball. So our build is exactly the same, we're just not using corrosive this time. So our survivability is going to take a bit of a hit, even though we have those points in toughness. But now we are trying to pump out as much damage as we can while still being able to parry things and stay alive. The fireball I highly recommend, by the way, for any type of mage build that you're doing. It is great, and there's not too many things in this game that have any sort of resistance to fire, which I find amazing. These Delimgens are also pretty hard. They're pretty tough for anybody that's played this game. You do have to be careful. But again, because we are able to parry, and now we have this big aerial of effect with the fireball, these fights, they're not so tough. You can still get caught, don't get me wrong, you can slip up and they'll still catch you, but this build does help with a lot of situations where you're overwhelmed, especially now when I switch to this fireball. I do enjoy the area of effect and pumping out just a little bit more damage. That tick damage over time from that fire really comes in handy with this build, because you're sort of standing around with the shield waiting to get these parries in. So as you're waiting for them to hit you so that you can parry them, they're still taking damage.
Sick.
Moving on in the quest, you do end up fighting this giant mushroom and her little minions. This can be tough, and I'm really just using this to showcase the area of effect and how it can be useful, along with that parrying effect and along with survivability. So there's a bunch of them. You can hit them with the fireball. They're going to take damage over time, and you get to just pump out as much damage as you can in the background as they sort of come towards you. Just to recap the build, this is a stun mage build. So right now we switch to fire, but the corrosive siphon is more so for if you want to be a little tanky, because it does steal health as you're dealing damage. I switched to fireball because I'm just trying to kill as much as I can as fast as I can. But using the shield does block projectiles, and remember that you can stun every enemy in this game. If you block and parry, they will get stunned, and it's easy crit damage, which is never a bad thing. So you get to enjoy the mage build without the glass cannon effect. You know, you don't have to hit hard and every time you get hit you die. As you can see, you can parry these things here. And I like to live. I don't know about any of you, but in games like this, living is the most important thing in my opinion. Along with enjoying the gameplay, of course, but dying is never fun. So if you're looking for something different, you can go back and look at the stats and how I did the build. Make sure you get yourself some health. Make sure you put that parrying up to get the maximum effect of stun, which is that yellow health bar. The more you stun them, the more you can then drain their health bar, which is the red one. I hope you guys enjoy this build. I hope you guys give it a try, and in the comments let me know how you like the game. I actually am really curious if people like this game or don't like this game, and maybe say a reason why you do or don't. And also, if you have a better version of this type of build, please let me know. I am curious to find out what you guys have come up with. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day and or night.